Hi allemaal, mijn naam is Lise Erasmus en ik is een Zuid-Afrikaner. So, 2 years ago I moved from Pretoria to Kelowna, BC, where I attend Kelowna Christian School and I am in grade 11. We are part of a missions team that have come to Pretoria for the past 5 days. Next we're heading up to Zambia and then to Jeffreys Bay. We're part of a missions team that are going out to spread the love of God and just go out and serve the communities in which we're going to visit. Well, this trip to Doxodeo and Pretoria has meant a lot, not only for me, but for all my friends that came with me. We started the trip to stay with friends that had come to stay with us in December when they came to visit us in Kelowna, and it has been an amazing experience. We started off the first day just spending the day at school and just getting to know everybody around us, which was a remarkable experience just to see how school was done here. We also went to visit a school in Mamelodi, which was quite the opposite of what we saw at Doxodeo, because the school was very underprivileged and had worked in very different ways because they had fewer resources to use. We had visited many townships out in the rural areas, which was remarkable for me because coming from Pretoria, I had only seen the suburban areas in which we lived, and seeing the more rural, more underprivileged communities was quite an eye-opening experience because even though it's so prominent in our communities, we don't see as much of it every day. My friends have all grown in an amazing cultural way because many of them hadn't even left the country before, and so being here and seeing all these different people in all these different ways had really opened up their perspectives. And so they're all really excited to continue the journey going to Zambia and then Jeffreys Bay and just serving the community. We've all been really, really blessed, and the families that we've stayed with and the people that we've been around have all just been there to make our trip an amazing experience for which we are all extremely thankful. We couldn't have, every day we've just been asked, is there anything we can do for you? And coming here, we were prepared to serve others, and being served from the other side has been something that we didn't expect, but we're very, very grateful for. So there have been many differences between what we're used to in Kelowna and what we see here. First of all, it's just the cultural experience, seeing the different races and the different ethnicities surrounding us, because in Kelowna it's a very, very white community, if I could put it that way without being disrespectful. But just to see all the different people has really been something that's a new experience for most of us. The schools here are also very, very different. It's a fast-paced school with many classes in a day, where we're used to having 4 classes over an hour and a half each and getting most of our work done at school, just having the afternoons to relax. Whereas when you're here, we find that the children have a lot more homework to do in the afternoons. They spend more time on projects and studying for tests, which is very different. Another big difference that we found was just food, just something as basic as food that you see every day, where in South Africa we found pop and cook sisters and biltong, which is something the Canadian kids have loved experiencing. Every day when we got into the bus to head to our next destination, people would start exclaiming, wow, what are those weird twisty things that are covered in syrup that the family gave me last night? And then, of course, being the South African of the group, I had to explain what cook sisters were and how to spell it out for them and try to help them pronounce it, which was quite funny to watch, I believe. One of the highlights for me was the Saturday that I spent with my billet family, Danica de Brain and her parents. We went out to Laurie Park Zoo and spent a lot of time just checking out the wildlife there. We had some amazing experiences, like we got to hold a boa constrictor around my neck, and we fed owls and played with baby leopards, and it was just an all-around amazing experience, and it was so much fun to be able to share it with them, because these are things that we don't generally see in Kelowna. I mean, we saw lions and we saw all sorts of wild birds and meerkats, you know, like Timon and Pumbaa. It was pretty great. And so I'm just really excited to be sharing photos and videos with all my Canadian friends, and I hope to see them all here when they come next year. I just also want to thank Mr. Chris and the rest of the Doxodeo staff for all the accommodations they've made for us and for letting us come into their classrooms and into their school, and just for hosting us and planning and making all the arrangements for us as well, because a lot of hard work goes into that, and we do appreciate everything they've done for us. So for me personally, I just wanted to send a thank you to the De Brain family. I lived with Danica and she came to live with me, and we've just become such close friends, and I'm sure we'll be spending a lot of time together in the future. So for any of you that are planning to go to Canada, or for the Canadians that come to South Africa, they aren't going to know what to expect, but I can guarantee that they're going to have an amazing time just as much and have just as much fun and adventure as I did.